Welcome. Good evening. Good evening, good evening.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you.
Well.
Good evening. Welcome, welcome. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome. We'll give a few people enough time to join in. Hello and good evening. Good evening, good evening.
Oh, I see some people on there.
Oh. Yes, good evening. Welcome, welcome. We'll give about 2 minutes. Hi, Shari. We'll give people a few minutes to join in. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. What's up, Kurt? Good evening. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for joining. Hey, Shari.
Hey, Shari.
Thank you all for joining in. We will wait about 1 more minute and we will begin. How is everyone doing this evening on this fine Monday? Welcome, welcome. Please make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe.
We're going to get our YouTube started up soon.
The YouTube will be up and running. We had a few technical difficulties this evening and we were not able to go live from YouTube, but the Key and Kai exchange is ready to roll. Like I said, there were some technical difficulties, and so we will be streaming live from YouTube and Facebook, and I'll give you some more information about that. Okay, it is 5:05, 6:05, wherever you are. Blessings, greetings, and welcome to the Key and Kai exchange. And tonight, before we get started, we just want to go over a few house rules, a disclaimer, if you will. We do not claim to know everything. We don't have all the information. That's why we are here on this platform, to get you all's perspective. We have 2 generations represented here, myself and my daughter Kai. And so there will be no judgment. There is no stupid questions. All questions are great questions. We will do the best of our ability to answer any questions or comment as we see fit to do so. There is no criticism here. We are just having dialogue. Hi,
hey.
Julie. We are just having dialogue. So we want you all to feel free to share your opinions, to share your comments, to feel free to join in and participate in this conversation, because this is what we're using this platform for, is to have conversations with you all. Like I said in the last video, hi Autumn, hey cuz Jarif. Like I said in the last video, this is something that, hello, this is something that Kai and I do all the time. We have conversations, dialogue, powwow, kick it, whatever you want to call it. We do this all the time. So we just wanted to welcome you all in and get perspectives and have conversations about different topics. So with that being said, we love you too. Hey, son. So we are streaming live from Facebook as well as Instagram. So again, if you see us looking, thank you so much. So if you see us looking back and forth, that is why, because we're streaming from 2 different platforms. And again, we will have our YouTube channel up and running soon. There were some technical issues that we had going on. And so we are here streaming from Facebook and Instagram. So tonight's topic is expectations and communication. Wowzers. This is huge.
Yeah.
This is huge. So let me give you the definition of expectations first. Expectations is a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. Again, expectations is a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. Communication, the imparting or exchanging of information or news. Again, communication is the imparting of exchanging or information or news. So we're going to begin with expectations. So when you hear expectations, it's something you expect, right? So, like I said about emotions, when our emotions are involved, it's the same thing with expectations. We expect people to behave a certain way. We expect people to understand us. We expect so many things, and sometimes our expectations are a little higher. Hey, Quadrica. Hey, sister. We expect. We have a little higher expectation for people and things, right? And sometimes with our expectations, there comes issues because we put our expectations way too high. Hi, Sonia. And hey, Mom. So we put our expectations too high, and sometimes that causes a little bit of a problem. We expect, when we meet people initially, we expect certain things from those people based on what we see first. So a good example, if you meet somebody, you just expect that they're going to treat you kind. You expect that they're going to communicate, which we're going to get into. We expect that they're going to treat us with kindness. Hi, Jay.
They're going to treat us how we treat other people.
Yes. That is our expectations of other people. We expect them to behave and treat us in a manner that we expect. Our expectations are set high from jump. So, again, we are going to get into how to not expect so much, because you have no idea when you meet somebody or you're introduced to somebody. Again, your expectations are high. And that's because you want people to treat you how you expect to be treated and how you treat other people. And that is not always the case. And I thought this was an amazing topic because I have learned, and as you all will find out on these lives, I am very transparent because I want to share my experiences. And I also, maybe something I went through can help somebody else. So I had expectations from different people and I was let down.
Definitely.
This caused such a rift and I did not understand it, but that's because my expectations were set high because I was giving a certain energy, giving of my time, giving myself, giving my heart, and letting those barriers down with people that I expected to treat me a certain way. And when that didn't happen, I was disappointed and let down. And really, it caused some depression. It caused a lot of confusion. Excuse me. And it caused, and Kai is definitely, she can bear witness to these things. And I'm sure in her life, she has had some expectations as well. And I'm sure you all have have as well. But again, I expected things from people, and when they did not meet my expectations, I was crushed. And again, it caused some depression. It caused me to have some anxiety and be stressed out. And absolutely, it caused hurt. That is so huge. I mean, and I know I am not the only one that has been hurt. And felt disappointed and let down by others' expectations. But we have to learn how to not set our expectations high with other people. And so Monica said, many expectations from others are disappointment. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Especially when you spend time with people and you see them in one way, and you're giving yourself and your time, and you feeling free and happy, and y'all kicking it, and everything is going great. And layers start coming off, and you start seeing things and hearing things, and it kind of knocks you off your square. Mm-hmm. And then when you are in this confused state, you experience all of those things, the hurt, the disappointment, the confusion. And I think for me, it was the confusion first, because I will tell everybody, and I'm sure you all that are watching can vouch, that I am the coolest person. Like, I'm just laid back, cool. I can kick it with anybody, older, younger. And I say I'm cool as a fan. So if I find, or my expectations hasn't been met, or something happens and I have set my expectations for individuals and they are not met, I'm telling you, it is something that I have gone through. Now I know better. When you know better, you do better. So you don't expect things from people just out the gate. You just don't. You accept people for who they are. When you meet people, again, you expect them to treat you with a level of respect. And for some people,
boundaries.
Okay.
And expectations is two different things. Definitely.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second. Let's tap into that, because boundaries and expectations are different things, and you have to set boundaries. You absolutely have to set boundaries. If somebody says something, it is definitely, Monica, a learning process, and that is where I am. Again, I have learned so much and acquired so much information over these last couple years about expectations and emotions and communication. And I have not always been a communicator. So these things, again, this platform, I'm coming to you all talking about these things because these are some things that I have gone through and experienced. And again, I want, you all's feedback and comments. And again, thank you for joining this live, this conversation, this dialogue. Hey, Kiki. With that being said, we do not want to set our expectations too high, and we definitely want to set boundaries. And I was about to say, when you're setting boundaries, it is nothing more than setting up a place where you can be treated, right, the way you want to be treated. setting boundaries is not allowing someone to be disrespectful to you or to look down on your views or opinions. First of all, that is what everybody that was trending for a minute, a red flag. Yeah. If somebody is, putting down your thoughts or ideas or hating, all of that, yeah, super red flag. And that's definitely boundaries that cannot be crossed. So again, we want to be mindful of the expectations so we do not fall victim to the confusion, the hurt, the disappointment. And again, it's getting to know people for who they are, accepting them, and if there are things that you see or that you feel. Hi, Miss Glenda. Yes, you absolutely must have boundaries.
Definitely.
So,
or people will run all over you.
People will definitely try to
take advantage.
Yes,
sure.
Run all over you and take advantage. Those are great points, Kai. If you don't set boundaries, or set your expectations too high. Mm-hmm. Again, we are talking about expectations and communication. And so I have, shared that I have expected things from people and have been let down. Hi, KK. As I'm sure you all have experienced, we have all set our expectations to a certain level. And I mean, it is not at all what we think. And it's okay. It's okay. So what we want to do with that is we want to learn from mistakes and things that happen in our lives from people. Ms. Glenda said, when they show you who they are, believe it.
Most and accept it.
Definitely.
Don't try to sweep it under the rug like, well, it was just that time. No.
Yeah. They were just having a difficult time. And it happens.
It does.
Sometimes we don't. I don't have a great day every day. As much as I would like to say that every day is a perfect, great sunny day, it's not. I go through things. Kai goes through things. We all do. And so, we have an understanding that not everybody is, gonna have a great day. And it just may not be that person's day when you meet them. But that goes along with having expectations, when you're meeting people. So let's tap into, hi, Audra, communication. Because, baby, listen. We have, and I was just talking to my mom about this earlier. We have such a breakdown of communication. And again, communication is the imparting or exchanging of information or news. We have such a breakdown of communication in this day and age. It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It blows my mind how we don't communicate. How we do communicate in a negative manner. It really blows my mind that people cannot communicate effectively, have adult conversations, just dealing with whoever it is. I mean, it just blows my mind that we don't communicate well. And I said about emotions, we deal with who we deal with. But you have to know that is one thing that I give credit to my mom for, is exposing me to different people, different cultures, different ways of living, because it taught me how to communicate. Although when I was younger, I did not communicate effectively and I communicated in different ways. Again, with my growth and learning and understanding, I come to realize that it is better to have a conversation. People, come on. Monica said communication has to be effective to get an understanding. Yeah. My God, today, yes. Communication has to be effective to get an understanding. And that is what blows my mind. Yes, communication is the key, KK. If you don't have communication, I mean, it's so simple. If you have an issue, if you have a problem, why not talk about it? Why not get it out in the open and have an understanding? Because again, somebody could be having a bad day. Sometimes, again, to be effective, to have an effective understanding, you have to communicate. Sometimes we say, sometimes, hello, everybody. Sometimes, hey, Alvin. Sometimes, we don't communicate and we don't have an understanding. Somebody could say something and we like, that's kind of off. That ain't right. But get an understanding so that you won't take it the wrong way. People are not authentic, so it's hard for them to communicate.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Listen, right, bottom line.
Yeah.
The authenticity is off. I mean, we talk about loyalty. Let's talk about authenticity. How do we get to a place where we are authentic? I want to pose that question. KK said a lot of people can have a problem with you, but if they don't communicate with you, how are you supposed to know? Absolutely. And that is why we're having this conversation, because
sometimes you get the people who try to communicate through sneak dissing on Facebook.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again, please? Can you say that again, please?
Get on Facebook or Snapchat or just social media, period, and make subliminal posts and I don't know, just throwing all type of shots at you versus just coming to you and being a man or a woman about it and communicating and letting it be known what the issue is. It'll be an ongoing thing, just a long drawn out, issue that was never communicated.
Right. So we're going to tap into this subliminal message thing. Julie said, what do you do or how do you handle someone who doesn't know how to communicate? You teach them.
Definitely.
You teach them.
Definitely.
You have conversations, and sometimes Fat said cowards. I would not say cowards because a lot of people don't learn how to effectively communicate. So I would like to disagree with that and not just say cowards. Oh, maybe you're speaking of when people send subliminal messages. Oh, yeah. And all that type of thing. Absolutely. We're going to tap into that. Monica said, be real with yourself and know who you are. Absolutely. You have to know who you are.
To be able to voice what you want, what you need, to be able to, communicate the right way, you have to know who you are.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that's with being, like Monica just said, if you're real, they will be real. And that from the gate, a lot of people will tell you that I am honest. I am going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. Because just again, and I'm referring back to the last live, and I'll just say, like I've said before, I want to see everybody grow. I want to see everybody learn. And the things that I have learned, I don't want to keep them to myself. I want to be able to help somebody else. I have not always been able to get on these platforms or anywhere else, have a conversation with people effectively because my communication was broke down. And it was something that I had to grow to be able to do. And again, so if you are real with yourself first, you have to be real with yourself. And that authenticity, there are so many people that are not authentic. And it causes a breakdown of communication. And there it is again, the expectations. Because people are not authentic. And that is I mean, I don't know what that is, why people are not, I mean, why you can't just be yourself. It's so much easier to be yourself than trying to be like somebody else or be like somebody you see on social media, somebody, you know, you've rubbed elbows with. It is so much easier to just be yourself. Just be honest with yourself. And then it's so much, hey, John.
Hey.
So we're talking about expectations and communication. Them are blessings, so we're supposed to share them, or we can't enjoy this blessing. Absolutely.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So, you know, that's one thing we want to keep in our mind is to be authentic, be your authentic self. Communicate without judging others' opinion. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and like Mama said, communicating without judging. Everybody is different. We are all unique individuals. We all have different opinions. We all have different thoughts on things that are going on. And I ran all my childhood friends away from being real.
Some people cannot accept real.
Right.
They just can't.
Right.
They just cannot accept real. No matter how you try to put it, whether you beating around a bush trying to be real. Like, some people just cannot accept real.
Yeah.
And so, you know.
And that's where I think a lot of times, Miss Glenda said, if I feel I can't reach you with a real conversation, I am praying for you. And then handling, I'm sorry, it's scrolling fast, y'all. Give me just a second so I can finish this statement. Oh my goodness, it scrolled all the way to oh, let's see. Oh my goodness, I lost it, y'all. Why is it doing that? I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. Okay. Yeah, because some people can get really butthurt from people's opinions. Yes. Hi, Lisa.
Yeah.
You'll never meet someone who truly likes or love you without you being your true self. They'll love the person that you're not. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yes. And again, those are those expectations, you know, that being real and, you know, just, okay, that's weird. But those are those expectations that we have, that we set, you know, just expecting people to be real, just to be authentic. And they are not. And I have no idea why it's so difficult for people just to be themselves and just like keep it real from the gate. It's so much easier. Quit expecting everybody to love you. If they don't love you being you, let it go. Absolutely. Expecting to get your feelings hurt. Exactly. And that is what John, that's a lesson that I had to learn. Expecting everybody to love me for me. You know, just having that expectation. Just having that expectation that people are going to love me because I'm me, because I'm cool, you know, just because I can have a conversation with anybody. And when I say anybody, I mean, I talk to everybody. I get it from my mom. I talk to everybody. And I have found out that everybody, hey, Scent, everybody doesn't have your same heart, your same upbringing. You have to know the person you are and cherish it. Absolutely.
Definitely.
It's difficult because if you don't understand who you are, you don't know how to treat others. Key point. But exactly, I absolutely agree that if you don't understand who you are, you don't know how to treat other people. So again, my suggestion is
so true.
You have to teach people. And it's not, you teach them with love. My mom often says with love and kindness, which is the word. I love you too, sweetheart.
Only if they're willing to be taught. I just wanted to add.
Yes.
Only don't waste your time on people who, are not willing to accept the information that you're trying to give them.
Yeah. So, hey, Tora. So my mom always says, she always quotes this scripture, with love and kindness have I drawn thee. And again, like Kai just said, if you know somebody is not willing to be open to learn what you are trying to help them with, or communication, don't waste your time. I mean, it's so not worth it. So, we just want to keep in mind to just be your authentic self. And sometimes you have to work on it because, we've had traumas, we've had things in our lives, and sometimes we have to find out who we are, and sometimes it takes a while, and that's okay. That is okay, but be open to learning how to communicate, how to get your feelings out, how to tell someone how you feel. If someone hurt your feelings, if you don't understand what somebody is saying, if you all don't understand me right now, inbox me. If you have my number, text me, and let's have a conversation. If I have done anything, I don't have a problem with having a conversation, because one thing I don't want to do, hey Jalen, one thing I do not want to do is have a misunderstanding with somebody and not understand or be in the dark about what is going on.
Right. That's the worst.
That is the absolute worst. And just quickly, a moment of transparency. I dealt with a couple situations this past year where communication was broke down, and I was left, again, I was confused. That confusion turned into my feelings hurt. It turned into me being stressed. It turned into some depression. I wasn't all the way down, but it affected me a lot. And even when I opened the lines of communication, there still wasn't any communication back. My expectations were high. And because some of these were close relationships, here I am. I'm just pulling, just holding on to the string, and I'm barely holding on, just trying to get some understanding and communication. But because my expectations were so high, well, they're going through this, or maybe that's just who they are. Mm-hmm. No, and it was stated before, when people show you who they are, believe them. Accept it. That is how you get your feelings hurt. And that was me. I was stuck in that place because I was expecting one thing, and also, I thought, if I communicated and said, well, what's going on, or what's the issue, it would be reciprocated. And it wasn't. I'm real good for cutting people off, I think, that I felt didn't understand me. Well, that's a part of communication, and that's probably something that you should work on, because instead of cutting people off, it's just getting an understanding, or allowing them to understand who you are. And that's how we grow and have good, healthy relationships. And because of our breakdown of communication and our high level of expectations, that's why we have so many breakdowns in relationships, because we do not effectively communicate, because our expectations are so high. Monica said trauma causes a breakdown on how the dynamics play in your life. For expectations and communication, But once you recognize these things, growth takes place. Absolutely. And that's what I was just saying, that trauma causes a breakdown.
Oh, we need to do a live about trauma too. That's a little sidebar.
We can definitely do that.
Definitely.
So hello, if you are just joining, we are talking about expectations and communication, And please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. I said in the beginning of the video that we've had some technical things going on with our YouTube channel, the Key and Kai exchange. But the next live, we will be going live from YouTube and Facebook. We are currently live from Facebook and Instagram. Hello, good evening to everybody.
Yeah, in that live, I'm going to be asking for y'all opinion. I'm not even going.
Yeah, so, again, we need to figure out how to get back to effectively communicating. Because, we want to, yes, trauma does bring growth, but
Definitely.
you have to get to that place. And so, yeah, we will definitely talk about that as well in another live. They don't know themselves. The people need to study self first. Absolutely. That's what we were saying. And it's holding yourself accountable. If it's something you don't know, start educating yourself. Read a little bit more. Social media is everywhere. Google, whatever you have to do. Just practice having effective conversations, even when it's uncomfortable, because it's not always comfortable when you start opening up and communicating. And sometimes you don't, it's hard for us to hear the truth and want to know the truth, but it is very, very crucial for your growth. It's just like watering a plant. If you don't water it, it will not grow. It will die.
Definitely.
You can only communicate so much. Sometimes it takes a toll on you to keep repeating yourself over and over again. It does, Julie. And that's what I was just talking about, sharing my experience. I was that person who was holding on or trying to hold on to relationships where the communication was terrible. I was the one reaching out. I was the one sending messages, text messages, and even when messages were sent back or communication, it was still like, it was so dry, and I was still pulling and I was still trying, and it was like I was not believing people. My expectations were high, and I was not believing those people for who they were. And ultimately, there wasn't any communication. And Kai brought up about subliminal messages. That is huge. Instead of communicating with the person, somebody else will spend so much energy.
Yeah.
People will spend so much energy and time that you don't get back. Hey, Ferranda. So much energy and time that you cannot get back. And they waste their time posting messages or making videos, going off, won't say who it is they're talking to, or whatever the case may be, just rambling on and all this type of thing instead of effectively communicating. And it's so much simpler. You can get such a better understanding when you communicate effectively. And that, again, I thought this was huge because in today's society, we have such a breakdown of communication and getting information and understanding and wisdom. And again, when I spoke to my mom today, she was saying, you have to listen and communicate. And that is huge. You have to, hey, Ryan. You have to be able to, you have to listen to be able to communicate. You have to have an understanding of what somebody is saying, period. That is, if you're not, being an assertive communicator, Kai said.
That's what we all should try to strive for, being assertive when we are communicating. There's 4 ways that people communicate. You got passive aggressive, you have an aggressive communicator, you have an assertive communicator, and I think that we all should try to be assertive when we communicate. And that's basically listening to the other side, but still standing strong on, what you're saying. I think learning how you communicate is like, if you don't know how, that's the start. If you're the type of person where you don't speak on anything, you won't speak up for yourself, or you don't know how to communicate, I feel like, you have to start somewhere. So
let me ask you this question. How, with your generation first, Fat said wisdom is a lifetime experience. I agree. Facial expressions is a form of communication. Okay. Absolutely. And I believe I've mastered that one. Yeah. Facial expressions and body language is definitely forms of communication. But I forgot what I was about to say, y'all. That's this 43-year-old brain. Y'all, please forgive me, because I completely lost my train of thought. But that's what we want to do is practice. Like Kai said, practice. Oh, that's what I was about to ask her a question. With your generation, how do you like help people understand being assertive with communication, or how do you help? Because I know that a lot of your generation and younger, you all rely. Thanks, sister. You in my mind. But how I know a lot of people in your generation and younger use social media, use a lot of texting. How do you get back to effectively and assertively communicating?
Well, I would say, I think, like you just said, social media is like the biggest breakdown, especially with my generation when it comes to communication. Because I see a lot of people, like, in my generation, they so quick to hop on social media and speak on it. Or, like I said in the last live, like, people will go live and put people on blast, or make subliminal messages. And so on the Instagram live, I seen a comment that said back in the day, communicating or social media was just one call away. Communication, or it was something like that. Mm-hmm. But I think that's where we should start putting down social media. Not so quick to get on social media, or go and talk to somebody else about what your issue is. And just calling a person and talking to the person about what an issue is, or how you feel, or what you may want or need. But yeah, I definitely think that's the biggest breakdown in social media, because that's what I see a lot of. And that's why I'm like so quick to speak on people getting on social media and making posts or going live, or something like that. So I definitely believe picking up the phone and calling a person, not texting, because you can definitely get the message mixed up through a text. Yes. I don't think communicating through text is always the way, especially when it's something serious or important. So yeah, picking up the phone and calling a person and communicating, that would probably be like the best thing to get back to doing it the right way.
I agree.
And like I said in the last live about emotions and all of that, start young. Teach your children how to communicate the right way. So that way, when they're older and they get in different relationships, whether it's friendships or romantic relationships, dealing with family, teach your kids how to communicate.
Absolutely.
And that will carry them. And I mean, kids, they're going to learn as they grow, but when you instill that into your kids, at least they'll have some type of knowledge on, how to go about certain things.
Right.
But
so, Keisha, the topic is expectations and communications. Ferranda said the generation is focused on being hard or being the baddest, so they try to prove a point.
Definitely.
Oh my goodness,
it's always
yes.
about proving a point.
They don't realize how they hurt other people. Absolutely. And I think that was great, Kai. Just getting back to communicating in person or on the phone versus a text, because I don't believe that sometimes messages cannot be conveyed clearly through a text, or you can't. And I always say it. I don't mind texting. Sometimes it is the greatest thing.
Send a text.
Yeah, it's the greatest thing ever invented. But when you are trying to communicate with somebody or you're telling them something, you cannot understand. You can't hear the tone of voice. If somebody is, you don't know if somebody is happy, or you don't know if they're upset, or you don't know if they have an understanding, and you may say something and they take it one way because of the text messaging. So I do believe that we should get back to, getting back on the phone, or having, it's COVID.
Having lunch. Go out to lunch with a person if you have an issue.
Hey, Quidra.
There's nothing wrong with face-to-face conversation.
Yes.
Nothing at all.
Yes. And I know, we are in a pandemic, and, we have to be safe and socially distanced.
Definitely.
And all that type of thing. But it is very important. Hey, Tamisha. It is very important for us to practice getting back to basic communication skills. And I do agree that it starts with your children. You cannot always shoo the kids away. You cannot have conversations with your children. I have been talking to Kai. Before she came in this world, I talked to her. I had conversations with her when she was in my womb. And when she was born, I talked to her just like I'm talking. I mean, everybody has different parenting skills, but I talked to Kai. I had conversation as an infant, when she was sleeping, when she was awake. I had conversations with her just like I'm talking to you all right now. Literally. Like, you can ask my mom, my sister, my family, period. I had conversations just like this. I didn't do the baby talk. I actually talked to her, and it helped her to be able to communicate. And I think as she got older, of course, going through the stages, the teen stages and all of that type of thing, there were some breakdowns of communication, but we had to get back to a place where we were having conversations, where we were being honest with each other. And that is what allowed us to, over the years, and again, I believe it stemmed from her childhood, and it all came back, with her upbringing, just being able to communicate. So having a conversation and kicking it with Kai, it's like the easiest thing. I mean, and it has not always been that way. Keisha said, or interpret the message based on how you're feeling at the moment. Absolutely.
That's why
I agree.
I always need it. If I get into a heated argument or something with somebody, I always say, just give me a minute. Because in that moment, I'm going to say how I feel. Mm-hmm. But if I have a minute to think about it and, think about the situation, think about what happened, then I can go back and communicate the right way about whatever is going on. So I definitely agree with that. Definitely. When you mad,
yes,
it's not the not the right time to talk.
Yes, that goes back into Kai. Great point. That goes back into, hey Trina, that goes back into emotions. Communicating when you're angry. That's huge, because if you're angry, you are going to say things that are hurtful, that you don't mean. So you want to practice, just like Kai said, just with that, maybe you can take that, from her, just take a minute, just take a step back. And even if it's not a heated debate, just take a second to think. Mm-hmm. Take a second to listen and have understanding about what a person is trying to say. Yes, those emotions. Listen, these topics here are some of the biggest, and that's why I chose to. I just try not to commit genocide most of the time. Homicide. Tim, please don't hurt nobody. But yes, and express that you need a minute. Yeah. Absolutely.
Don't just shut down.
Hi, Nisha. Yes.
That's the worst. I cannot stand dealing with a person who shuts down and just won't say anything. Like, they won't say how they feel, I can understand if you express, I need a minute. Yeah. And then you come back. But people who just shut down is just it's no trying there. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with that.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what we're talking about. Hey Angie, when you shut down and you don't communicate, then there's a breakdown in that relationship.
Words are powerful.
Words are very powerful. So you need to choose wisely and just take a second, just take a step back, give yourself a second and, think about what you're going to say or, whatever the situation may be, and have an open mind when you are talking to people. Hey, Alyssa, we only have about 6 minutes left. So I am going to wrap this up. Make sure you all practice, that's fine. Make sure you all practice effective communication. And it's nothing wrong. I don't care what the situation is. Please, you all. That is why you have to be careful with your mouth. You can't take it back. Oh, absolutely. No. You cannot take your words back. That is a great point.
I used to let my words fly.
Yeah. And we have to get to a place where we think before we speak. And there again, you have to use your power tool. Use your mind. My dad used to say, use your brain to think. And I that got on my nerves. I hated hearing it. Now that I'm older, now those words stick with me. Hey, Mother Williams. Those words stick with me like glue. Use your brain to think and use your power tool. Run along the same. They are parallel. You have to use your mind and
thank you.
The power of the tongue. Thanks. Absolutely. So yes, use your power tool. Use your brain to think. Take a step back. Practice effective communication, people. Don't. Oh my gosh. Hey. That's DQ. Hi, DQ. But yes, use your power tool, learn and practice effective communication. And it's every day. Just practice it. Practice having a conversation. Instead of sending that text message, get an understanding. Call them on the phone and try to get an understanding before you just go off. And don't set your expectations so high. Don't set your only expect what you expect from yourself. You give what you want to be given to you. Don't waste your time on people that cannot effectively communicate. They have not gotten to the place where you are. And especially if you're just trying to help and have a conversation. Hey, Bree. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for tuning in to our live.
This was good.
Yes, it was very good. Thank you all for your feedback. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. The Key and Kai exchange. Be on the lookout for our YouTube channel. We had some technical things going on this evening, and we couldn't stream live from YouTube, but we are live on Facebook and Instagram. And again, I am so grateful that you all tuned in and you listened and you gave us feedback. That is what we are trying to do, is just open up dialogue with no judgment. We don't know everything, but we that's what we're trying to do, is just open up and bridge the gap of our lack of communication and understanding. I love you all tremendously. I want us all to grow. I want us all to win. Any questions, any comments, any concerns that you have, feel free to inbox me, inbox Kai. If you have our numbers, feel free to text or call us at any time. We did say that we are going to promote a small business. So tonight, next time we will choose, because we have a couple that we can choose from. So tonight, let me promote myself first. Puddin's Pieces, be on the lookout for great things. Great things are brewing, and I am so excited about Puddin's Pieces. I'm excited about the Key and Kai exchange, and some great things are happening. So do you want to do the business shout out for this evening?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
So let me make sure I got the right.
So we'll give her a second to. What are you looking for? Oh, okay. So anyway, before we hey Tarika, before we run out of time again, thank you all so much for joining. All right, so let's do my nephew first. One of my nephews anyway. So let's do Babyface E. BABYFXCE. Babyface E. Check him out on all music platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook,
Apple Music.
It's
all there on all platforms.
He is an up and coming artist from Flint, Michigan. And when I tell y'all his music is fire, it's not for everybody. That's completely fine.
Still check it out.
Even if you go, just like, subscribe, just support. We're gonna talk about that too. Supporting each other, because we do not support our own. So this is what we're also doing too, is promoting small businesses, up and coming artists, whatever it is. And if you have a small business or music or whatever, and you want us to shout you out, listen all the way to the end. His mom said, if you have a small business or music or anything that you would like for us to promote, please hit, I love you too, baby. Please hit us up. Hey, Shonda, on social media. Yes, it is in the comments on Facebook. Oh, that's not spelled correctly. It is BABYFXCE. Babyface E. Check him out, y'all. I'm telling y'all, the wordplay is sick. And I'm not just saying that because he's my nephew. The wordplay this boy has is sick.
True.
Music is fire. And again, it's not for, there it is right there on Facebook. Babyface E on all music platforms. Thank you, Kai.
It's pinned in the comments.
It's pinned in the comments. There you go. So make sure you all check out Babyface E on all music platforms. Again, thank you all for joining us tonight. We are going to end this live. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Be on the lookout for that YouTube channel, the Key and Kai Exchange. Hopefully tomorrow, Tuesday or Wednesday, we will have it up for you all to check out our intro video. And we will go live on Friday with a new topic. Friday, same time, same place. Meet us here.
I don't miss
We
it.
are going to have another exciting topic. So be on the lookout for all of those great things. Again, if you have any business that you would like for us to promote, please feel free to inbox us, text us, and let us know what you would like for us to promote. You all have a blessed and wonderful evening. Please practice effective communication and don't set your expectations too high. Use your power tool. Use your power tool.
And control your emotions.
And control your emotions. My God. This has been wonderful, folks. I absolutely love this. We are all here. We want to support each other and help each other to grow. Again, I love you all. I appreciate you all. And until next time, peace out.